on your notes, it says lipids are hydrophobic. What does this mean? Water fearing. So you need to know that lipids are water fearing. Now, how does that relate to our lab? How did that relate back to our lab?
Some of the fats didn't mix.
They didn't mix with the water, right? Because the rule of solubility is dissolve likes dissolve likes. Okay, all those different types of functions and examples of lipids, this is going to be a short answer essay type question. So you need to make sure that you know them. So we will go through fats. What are fats for? What do fats do? They do what with energy? They store the energy. So fats store energy.
And help insulate the body.
They insulate our body.
They cushion and protect the organ.
Cushion and protect organs. So that's for fats, right? Waxes. Let's add something about waxes. What are waxes on?
The cuticles of plants.
Yes, cuticles of plants, and that keeps them from drying out. Okay, that waxy cuticle. Oils. Let's talk about oils. Oils are another example.
Oils, they help our plants not dry out.
Yeah, you have natural oils that you produce so that your skin stays soft. It protects your hands. Also, your hair, right?
Oh yeah, really good.
Okay. Think about like if you have a Labrador Retriever. Does anybody seen how like they get that shine down their back? How they always have that hair?
Yeah.
Why do they? They're naturally water repellent because they secrete a lot of oil. Because they like to spend their time in water, right? So oils protect your hair, protect your skin, soften it, make it nice. Okay, steroids. What are steroids used for? Huh? Not the bad kind. No, we're talking about the good kind.
The good kind
Give me 2 examples of steroids that we make.
testosterone.
Testosterone, let's start with testosterone. Typically you think of males, right? So it's a hormone for males. Estrogen in females. So if you need to add that to that, hormones are important. Okay? Are there any questions about that? Lipids, add the word lipids there. The chlorophyll that's in plants, that's a lipid. The pigment, the chlorophyll that's going to collect the sunlight so photosynthesis can happen, that's also an example. Okay? You should highlight saturated and unsaturated fats. You should be able to tell me the difference between them. That saturated fats have all single bonds. Unsaturated fats will have double bonds. Okay? You should know that the basic monomer of a fat is a triglyceride. Okay? That they're triglycerides. Okay? How do we build a triglyceride? Number 54. You have to take glycerol and 3 fatty acids. Now, what did we have to do to glycerol and the fatty acids before we could put them together? Right, so we built what molecule? H2O, water. And then you were able to put a fatty acid on. But since you have to put 3 fatty acids on, how many water molecules will you actually get from 1 triglyceride? 3. You actually make 3 water molecules. This process of taking away water to put your molecules together is what?
Dehydration synthesis.
Dehydration synthesis or condensation. What's the opposite process?
Hydrolysis.
Hydrolysis is the opposite process if you want to break them apart. Okay? Another important thing about lipids on number 58, looking at B, C, and D, is phospholipids. This is also another function that is important for fats that they do. So you could use this as part of that essay question. A phospholipid is what makes up the cell membrane. Okay? Remember that the circle head, it's hydrophilic. With water. If it's hydrophilic. It loves water. And then the fatty acid tails are hydrophobic and they repel or fear. There you go. Okay? Alright. That pretty much takes us through that one. Your coloring and question sheet. This one, elements and macromolecules, all the way back on page 8. Let's look at number 26. Lipids are nonpolar. That means they don't dissolve in water. Number 27, what will they dissolve in? Nonpolar, and there's your rule of solubility to highlight. If you did not write down about lipids covering plants, waxes, go ahead and do 29 and 30, okay? Number 31, they have more carbons and hydrogens than they do oxygens. This makes them a hydrocarbon. You might want to add the word hydrocarbon there to that. Number 31, when you have more hydrogens and carbons than you do oxygens, you got a hydrocarbon. Okay? Going down to number 35. How can you tell if it's a fat? You're looking for the glycerol, and then the fatty acid chains have a functional group. What was that functional group? Carboxyl. And what was its formula? Very good, COOH. So make sure you understand number 35. Okay. Let me check and make sure that I'm... Okay. So you know what glycerol is, we know what a lipid is, we know the steroid, we got that. Back on page 2 of this one, of the coloring sheet, you need to make sure that, yeah. Oh, okay. Back on page 2, make sure you know the definition of a macromolecule. Number 3, we're going to have the word macromolecule to look at, and then your I want to make sure I got everything. Look at your picture of the glycerol on page 8. You see the picture? Which one would be your hydroxyl? Where are your hydroxyls in that picture?
The H in the carbon.
No.
Oh, you would put the H2O with it.
Right, the OHs. Those OHs, so once you circle one of those and label that hydroxyl, make sure you know that those are hydroxyls.
How do you spell that?
HYDRO XYL. Hydroxyl. Okay? I'll give you back your lab paper tomorrow graded. Make sure that you can explain how to test for fats in different ways. How do fats behave when they're in waters? How do fats behave when you put them in lighter fluid? How do fats behave when you put them on like a paper bag? How would you tell if it's a fat or not? So you should be able to explain your lab and how you tested for fats that way. Going back how to build a fat, that goes back to the worksheet chemistry of fats and proteins part A. Make sure you go back and review those. We went over those. Those are good questions to look at for how to build fats, things like that. What's in a fat? I got you. And that should be about it. Are there any questions that you guys have? Combination, there's a little bit more writing or typing involved, but it's usually like a statement. There's some matching and there's some fill in the blanks. I did give you a word bank. Okay? Are there any other questions? Okay, that's it. All right,
done?
We're done.